Welcome to Blitz. I'm Brian Carter. Blitz is sponsored by Jackie Jones and now Habersham, and we are here at Stevens County High School with Lady Indians softball coach Katie Jo Gentry. Kind of a tongue twister there, but Katie Jo, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And for those who aren't familiar with you in this program, talk about your background in the game of softball.
Okay. I played 1 year of college softball at Lincoln Memorial University in Harrogate, Tennessee, and I transferred to Young Harris to play my last 3 years. Great experience. I was blessed to go back as a volunteer assistant at Young Harris under Eileen Morales. And now the last 2 years I've been the assistant coach here, and now I've taken over the head spot. So.
And that's where I was going next is you got to be excited. You know, you get the new season kicked off, and you had all off season to work up to that. But what were your feelings in being able to take over this program? And you were in the unique situation where you had been part of this program for the last couple of years, like you said, so you had that familiarity with the girls already.
Yes, and I was blessed to have Dave Poffenberger, over me, and he gave me so much free will on the field, per se. So he helped me out and let me take over certain situations. So little by little, we kind of made the joke that he's been my training wheels coming into the program. But he was an absolute blessing, and I wouldn't have been able to do all this without him. Yeah. But now I've got familiarity with the girls. It really doesn't seem like that much has changed. We miss Coach Poff being around, but as far as knowing the girls, we're pretty well set with each other. So.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And last year, this was a really tight team. I think y'all last year talked about the chemistry being really tight. So you take over this program, and again, you had the familiarity, but you also had to be really even more excited knowing that everyone's coming back from last year. Well, not everyone, but a good number of pieces last year coming back. You have an exceptional depth on this team.
Yes, and last year, I've never been a part of such a fun team with all-around great people that are just fun to practice with and play games. And we all have our days, but we had girls that were sitting on the bench some games last year that could have been a great starter also. Yeah. So we've been very blessed to have the depth that we have, and there wouldn't be that depth without the hard work that they put in. So.
Now, a lot of teams will say this in different sports, but with you, I know it's true with Stevens County and the region you lie in, 7-4A. Talk about how tough this region is. Like a lot of coaches will say, we're in the toughest region in the state, but in your case, you can share of how tough it really is.
Yes, all across the board, we're constantly battling to keep a good standing in our region. We had Oconee and Jefferson and Stevens, all three were in the Elite Eight. Yeah. So if 3 out of your 5 teams out of your region were in the Elite Eight of the state, you're doing something right in that region. Yeah. So we have great competition. They're fun to play, and it goes to speak. We like to be pushed, so we like the challenge.
Yeah, it's going to make you better because ultimately, if 3 of you were in the Elite Eight last year, you got to get past them to be able to get, ultimately to that state championship. How hungry does last year's Elite Eight run make this team and the girls? I imagine that really fuels the fire to, there was a sort of feeling when any team has been there for the first time where they're almost just happy to be there. And I'm not saying that you guys were because you still wanted to win, but, once you have accomplished that, I imagine that makes you even more hungry to get back.
Yes. Every team's goal starting the season, most teams' goals are, hey, we want to win state. Yeah. But we also kept it dialed back to where, okay, let's take this one game at a time. We didn't really get into the region tournament like we wanted to 2 years ago, so we said, hey, let's get to region. Let's try to win region. That didn't work out last year, so that's another one of our goals on our list this year. But every step that we took that was further, we celebrated that little step for a short minute, and then we kept working. Yeah, so definitely, I'd say our goal is to win state, but we also, like Emma said, we want to not just make Elite Eight. How about Final Four or have a little win streak going in that tournament? Yeah, so definitely.
And key is getting that. If you can win that first game, you're setting yourself up pretty well, right? So, and so you just kicked the season off. You get a 3-0 win over East Hall. I believe that was here at home, right? kind of talk about, maybe getting the nerves out of the way for this team, being able to get that first game in. And what was it from your perspective? What are you looking for most out of that game? Are you really looking at the final score, just the win or loss, or is it something more you're looking for?
Every inning in a game, we always say, as a coaching staff, we always try to make it a habit to say, hey, it does not matter what's on that scoreboard. You're proving yourself every inning. Yeah. So can you handle a 3-run deficit? Can you handle a 3-run lead? But always treat the situation you're in like you're in the championship round. Yeah. Okay, this is the last inning. You've got to score a run. How are you going to handle the pressure? Right. So we're trying to constantly, and that goes to mental mindset because, we work physically. We're also trying to be good people and have a great mindset over everything.
And so, what were you pretty well happy with the way the first game turned out, or was there an area that you feel needs improved a little?
Yeah, well, first game jitters, but we definitely could have hit stronger. Okay, Emma did great. She threw 13 strikeouts that game. But there's little things every game, and we had girls that did their job, and we had girls saying, hey, I know I need to step it up. This is where I need to do a self-check. Okay, this is what I've got to do next game. Yeah. So.
And you kind of mentioned Emma. Unbelievable, 13 strikeouts. A phenomenal talent, 24-5 last year. A microscopic, tiny 0.92 ERA and 232 strikeouts. There's not many people in the state putting up those kind of numbers. How special of a player is she? And she's only a junior, so you get her for 2 years.
Mm-hmm. The great thing about Emma is she's a great player, but she's also a great person. So she doesn't, if you try to put the spotlight on her, she hates it, but that's what makes her such a humble character on the field, and it attracts good energy. So her team loves to play behind her because she doesn't make it all about herself. Yeah. She knows she's one of 9 people and one of 20 people on the team, so she still has she's even kill. Yeah. And she goes, okay, I'm doing this for my team. It's not just a solo job. But that's what makes her so special. And I've said it multiple times, she's one of the hardest working people I've ever met. So I can't imagine someone, there are very few people who are as deserving of the attention she has got than her.
But like you said, what amazes me is just it's a breath of fresh air to see someone of her talent be so humble. And it rubs off on the rest of the team, like you're saying. But congrats on being able to take over this program, and I'm really excited to see you girls get back to state and, like you said, make a deeper run, Final Four. But I'm really hoping you get to hold that trophy up at the end of the year.
That would be great. We're taking it one game at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. There's that old cliche, but it's true. Make sure you check out our interview also with junior star pitcher Emma Whitfield here on Blitz.